system that has to be called as a hoping. Okay, and once it has to be used, the sender has to send the frequency and the receiver has to receive the particular frequency band that has to be taken care by this frequency band. What are the examples can be used in slow frequency hoping is nothing but the multiple bits are transmitted in hoping period. The multiple bits are transmitted in a hoping period. The bits and bytes are these are the two types. Bits are nothing but zeros and ones, and bytes are nothing but 0101. This is what called a byte. Bits are nothing but 0 and 1. And one of the important example can be used in this is GSM and Bluetooth. GSM and Bluetooth are the two examples can be used in slow frequency hoping. GSM is nothing but what? Global system for mobile. Global system for mobile, and Bluetooth, you are using your Bluetooth in your mobile. That is, these are the slow frequency hoping can be used in this frequency hoping for spectrum. And second time for this spread spectrum multiple access is code division multiple access. The code division multiple access is nothing but what? The specific code has to be assigned. Specific code has to be assigned. You are seeing the diagram over here. You are seeing the diagram over here. There is a base station. The base station is called as your tower, and your mobile is having your specific codes. Your mobile is having a specific code. Through that code, the individual user can be tracked. That has to be monitored. How much time he has in a communication with the number of users, and how many times every day the calling has been done. Okay. All the information has to be stored in one of the office, that is mobile switching center. The mobile switching center has to store almost all the information. That is what number of mobiles has to be taken place. Each mobile has to be assigned the individual code. What is? There is no restriction on time and frequency. There is no restriction on time and frequency. Why? Because the specific individual code has to be assigned to the individual user. So there is no restriction on time and frequency in this scheme. And parallel communication without collision and whole bandwidth can be used. There is no collision has been taken place. The number of parallel communication, number of multiple communications has to be taken place without any interference and without any collision between the two signals. Whatever the bandwidth has to be allocated for an individual user for a particular network, the whole bandwidth can be used when the communication has to be taken place. Users are separated by code, not by time slot or a frequency slot. So whenever you have purchased a particular SIM card, what is the full form of SIM card? Subscriber identity model. The SIM card is nothing but what? Subscriber identity model. That SIM card is going to protect your code. That SIM card is going to protect your code. That SIM card is having an authentication code. Authentication code. If that code matches, then and then only your authentication has to be taken place, so that your authenticated person, you can use your mobile or your SIM card for in any of the country. So that is what authenticated. So that every hackers, if you want to monitor any person, that has to be registered in a particular MSC, that is mobile switching center. So this is what one of the example he has given, whatever you have seen in TDMA. Okay, the users are separated by codes. One is purple is saying hi and green is saying go. So respective code has to be sent to the respective person. The respective source has to be sent to the respective destination. So same purple code has sent to the purple code at the receiver. Same green code has to be sent to the same green code at the receiver. So in between there are number of processes has to be taken place, but whatever the receiver end, the same signal has to be received at the destination. So this is what has to be taken place with respect to the code itself. All this has to be managed by the specific code. There is a random code, the pseudo random code has to be assigned to the individual user. He has given one of the example that in a room there are 10 people are sitting. In a room, 10 people are sitting. One is speaking English, one is speaking in Chinese, one is speaking in Spanish, one is speaking in Marathi, and some of the other languages he is speaking. How it is possible? That is, other end of the person is going to understand that particular language. That has to be taken place only because of this CDMA technique. CDMA technique. Everyone is talking at a relatively the same time. There is no restriction on time and frequency. At the same time, almost all the people, the 10 people are going to speak with other person. That is only because of this. There is no restriction on the time. Okay, that signal has to be spread in the air. So second question he has asked is, who can listen to whom and why? We don't know. To whom? Yes, to whom he is speaking and why he is speaking, we don't know. But he is speaking at a particular time. At the same time, almost all the 10 people are in a speaking mode. Who can't you understand? Shall we understand this? Spanish language? No. Persian language? No. So only Spanish people can understand their languages. So that is what, whatever the code has been allocated, that has to be converted in the specific languages. Who can't speak to anyone else? So everyone in the world is going to speak to everyone only because of this coding technique. One example has to be given. You have to see the top of this diagram. Top of the diagram. Simple idea of communication with code. There are 4 blocks. One is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The data D1 with respect to code C1. Getting the point? See the top of the diagram. Data D1 with respect to code C1. Whenever you are sending any data, there will be a code. Without code, we can't send any data. Without code, we can't send any data. So for almost all the codes, for almost all the communications, the code is required. So what? D1, C1, for block 1. And for block 2, the D2 is the data plus, that is of C2, the code C2. And for D3, that is a block 3rd, D3, that is the data 3 with respect to the code C3. And a block 4 with respect to the code C4. All these codes, that is D1, D2, D3, and D4, all these codes are moving in the same channel. All these codes are forwarding in the same channel, that is a common channel, that is becomes addition of all codes. Addition of all codes. One channel is there. All the codes and all the data are to be moving in a same channel, that is D1, C1 plus D2, C2 plus D3, C3 plus D4, C4. So it is a combination of all the codes, combination of all the data. D1 is code 1, D1 is the data 1 with respect to code 1. D2 is data 2 with respect to code 2. D3 is data 3 with respect to code 3. D4 is data 4 with respect to code 4. All the codes are moving in the same channel. Okay. The question is what? If you want to receive the data of only D1, if you want to receive the data of only D1, you have to multiply with all the data to the respective code. Getting the point what I am telling? If you want to get the data of only D1, you have to multiply with the same code for all the codes, for all the data. That is what he has given in a last block, that is data retrieving. Data retrieving, that is D dot C1 is equals to D1 C1 plus D2 C2 plus D3 C3 plus D4 C4 into C1 C1, that is code 1 with respect to data D1. If you want to get data D2, what we can do? You have to just multiply with the code C2. If you want a data D3, you have to multiply with the code C3. If you want data D4, you have to multiply with the code C4, like this, similarly. Okay, just you have to multiply D1 C1 C1 plus D2 C2 C1 plus D3 C3 C1 plus D4 C3 C1. So what it has taken place? The condition is what? The condition is what? If there is a same code, if there is a same code, that the value will become n. The condition is what? If there are the same codes, the value will become n. If there are different codes will be multiplied, that value will become 0. That the data will become 0 and that value will become 0. So C2, C1, there are different codes are there, so that will become 0. C3, C1, different codes are there, that value will become 0. And C4, C1, that different codes are there, the value will become 0. C1, 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 the same code, that value will become n. The what it means? So the whatever the data you want, so you received at the receiver end, that is D1. D1. How you receive the D1 code? That is D1 data. You have multiplying with the code with the data, the same code with the same data. So you have received the particular code or the particular data at the receiver. Nowadays, this is what we are going on. If you require this data, only this data, that has to be taken place in the software itself. So that data has to be received at the receiver. That data has to be received at the receiver. So this is what the concept of code division multiple access. This is one of the example of code division multiple access. Next, what are the advantages of this code division multiple access? Potentially larger capacity. More users can communicate simultaneously. Of course, if you are using random codes, if you are using random codes, the more and more millions and trillions of users can communicate simultaneously. Nowadays, that is only going on. Why? Because at the same time, at the same bandwidth, at the same frequency band, almost all the users are going to use their mobiles in the single frequency band with a different codes, with a different random codes, with a different pseudo random codes. If the users don't use the medium all the time, they are just reading the emails. CDM will not allow much users to communicate simultaneously. You are doing simultaneously. If you want to speak, you can speak. If you want to use your mobile for sending any of the SMSs or sending any of the emails, that has to be taken place. There are multiple, the working has to be taken place, but simultaneous communication has to be taken place in this CDMA users. And it has to be used for two methods for CDMA. One is GSM bandwidth can be used and IS-95. What this stands for IS? The IS stands for InterSIM. InterSIM 95 bandwidth, that has to be comes under, that is WCDMA. InterSIM bandwidth, the GSM bandwidth is of 200 kilohertz. InterSIM 95 bandwidth is of 1.25 megahertz. Again, the bandwidth has been increases once you moving from 2G to 3G, 3G to 4G, 4G to 5G. So WCDMA, that is for 3G, that is 10 megahertz. And one more main advantages is what? You can add more and more number of users by using this code division multiple access. So easy addition of more users. You can easily add more and more number of users. And one more main advantage is number of hackers are going to hack a particular system, particular mobile. This is not possible. 98% is not possible. Only 2% of the hackers are going to hack the particular mobile or a particular system, only because they have given a particular code to that to anyone else, so that they are going to hackers are going to hack the particular system. So impossible for hackers to intercept the whatever the code has been sent. And the quality of the signal is very good nowadays. We are having this particular, we are have lectures are going on online. If the network is good, you are getting the better quality. If the network is not good, you will not get better quality, depending on the network, different SIM cards we are using. So that is what better quality is very good. That is advantages. Disadvantages for having this, what? Self jamming. Jamming is nothing but it is little bit of traffic is going to happen. Why? Because more and more number of users are going to happen. Self jamming is occurs only when there will be a bad weather conditions. There will be a bad weather conditions, so that will be happens. As the number of users increases, the overall quality of service decreases. Okay, as a more, if this has to be taken place only in the urban areas. Why? Because urban areas, the more and more number of users are using their mobiles, as they are going to increase the base stations. Okay, as they are going to increase the number of MSAs. So as there is a lot more of users are coming and going out from the particular cell or particular area, that should be services has to be decreases. So near for problem is also equals depending on the mobile they are using. This is what the concept of code division multiple access. Code division multiple access. We have seen the three types. One is frequency division multiple access, second time division multiple access, and third is of code division multiple access. These are the very three techniques we are using in this. Okay, this is very important. The comparison between FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. There is no offline exams. If there will be offline exam, the question will ask, write a comparison of FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. Write a comparison of FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. But MCQ questions will arise. The MCQ questions will come in this, the comparison. You have to remember this, FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. MCQ will ask, what is the full form of FDMA? What is the full form of TDMA? And what is the full form of CDMA? For all the techniques, the bandwidth is same. For all the techniques, the bandwidth is same. That is allocated bandwidth, that is of 12.5 megahertz, 12.5 megahertz, 12.5 megahertz. Okay, this mega bandwidth has to be used depending on the different generations. And frequency reuse. Second operation is frequency reuse. Frequency reuse has to be taken place 7 times in FDMA, 7 times in TDMA and only 1 time in CDMA. Why? Because whatever the frequency has to be allocated, that is allotted for only 1 time. Why? Because the specific code has to be assigned. Specific code has been assigned to the individual users, so there is no need of frequency reuse in CDMA, WCDMA, and these are some of the techniques. The frequency is not required, but only the generations, less generation, that is in 1G, 2G, that is frequency reuse is required. And what is the channel bandwidth? How much is the channel bandwidth required for this FDMA? 0.03 megahertz. Single channel bandwidth, that is 0.03 megahertz. Same for TDMA, that is 0.03 megahertz, and for CDMA 1.25 megahertz for CDMA. And number of radio frequency channels we require. Number of radio frequency channels, as we are using the first generation, we require more and more channels. We require more channels, that is 416 channels has to be required for FDMA. Same channels has to be required for TDMA, they have not increased any channels at that time. So less number of channels has to be required for CDMA, that is of 10. Next, channels per cell. Per cell is nothing but an individual cell. How many channels are required for individual cell? How many channels are required for individual cell? For FDMA, you have to remember this, because 416 are the channels for whole entire system. So you have to use this method. You have to use this method, that is 416 divided by 7 frequency reuse, that is 59 for DDMA, and same, that is 10 for CDMA. The control channels per cell, how many control channels? Every base station, there is a control station is there. Base station controller, BSC, in short form it is called as a BSC, base station controller. BTS, base transceiver station. Base transceiver station, your tower, your antenna, your tower, that is called as a BTS, base transceiver station. Your tower is having a BSC, that is base station controller. How many base station controllers are required for this? FDMA 222. For almost all the techniques, for up to CDMA, only 2 base stations are required, that is controllers are required, that is of 2. Calls, number of calls per RF channel, only 1 call, 4 times you can call, multiple times, that is 40 plus, we have mentioned, that is multiple times you can call this, that is calls per RF channel. Same for voice calling, you can send, you can do the voice calling. Nowadays we are doing the voice calling also, video calling also, that is per cell, that is 57 into 1, that is 57. 57 into 4, that becomes 228. 8 into 40 plus, that is more than that, we can do 370, 320 to 320. Okay, the number will may vary. And sectors per cell, 3 sectors are there. Already we have seen what is a sectoring. The directional antennas has to be used in a sectoring process, that is sectors per cell, 333. These are the almost all the techniques we are using 3 sectors. Voice call per sector. Sector is nothing but we are going to split a particular cell into a degree wise, that is for a 120 degree or for a 360 degree. Okay, if the sector is of 3, 57 divided by 3, that is 19, 228 divided by 3, that is 76, and 320. And utilization of spectrum for a single station. How much is the frequency spectrum you are using? It does not use full bandwidth. Why? Because the network is very slow. So whatever the bandwidth is allocated for a particular user or a particular network, that is not used for due to this network issue. It uses full bandwidth within allocated time slot. Whatever the time slot has been allocated to the individual users, those time slot users can use a full bandwidth. Okay, and last for CDMA, it uses full bandwidth throughout operation, that is of throughout the operation till the end of the conversation, till the end of the communication, they are using the full bandwidth. That has to be used for spectrum utilization. Is this techniques, is all the techniques are analog or digital? That can be seen. Analog or digital, it is generally analog, that is of first generation. The TDMA is of digital, that has to be analog, has to be converted to the digital. And CDMA is almost digital. So digital, nowadays we are using digital technique itself, not analog. Next, interference. Interference is nothing but when 2 or more signals are going to interfere, they are going to combine with each other, they are going to collide with each other, it is going to create interference. Interference may occur in FDMA. Why? Because single frequency has to be allocated Interference may occur in TDMA. The specific time has to be allocated. The interference is eliminated, only eliminated. If interference is also occur in this, but that has to be taken care by. That has to be taken care by this MSC, that there is no interference between any of the signal. Interference is eliminated in this CDMA channel. Why? Because the specific code has to be allocated. The specific code has been allocated to the individual users. So for that, there is no interference or less interference has to be taken place. Next operation, next jamming. That is, there will be a lot exist. There will be a collision between the two signal has to be taken place in FDMA, and for TDMA jamming also taken place. It is there exist. For CDMA it is does not exist. Why? Because there is no collision has to be taken place. Why? Because the random pseudo random codes has to be allocated, assigned to the individual users. Next, flexibility. It is poor. Flexibility is better. Flexibility is best. That is in CDMA. And last, cost. It is low, high, and lowest. Nowadays we are using lowest cost as compared to the previous and the TDMA technique. This is what the comparison of FDMA, TDMA, and CDMA. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. That is comparison. You have to explain it with respect to the FDMA, TDMA, and CDMA. So last but one, that is a topic, that is what? Space division multiple access. Space division multiple access, SDMA. That is a short form. It is called as SDMA. I will tell you the overview of this. There is nothing is there. There is a satellite. The diagram you are seeing, that is satellite, and we are seeing the directional antenna, that is base station. You are having a mobile station at the earth station, and the vehicles are there in the, that is for transportation. You are using your internet, you are using your television. Almost all the signals has to be received through satellite itself. Through satellite itself, we are going to receive the particular signal. We are using the satellites because we are using the directional antenna that has to be mounted towards the earth. That has to be mounted towards the earth between the transmitter and the receiver. And the main satellite is having its transponders. This is very, very important point. The satellite is having a transponder. The minimum number of transponders are 40 to 50 number of transponders can be used. 40 to 50 number of transponders can be used in a single satellite. What is the main function of this transponder? The function of transponder is to convert a particular signal. The function of transponder is to receive the signal from the transmitter, do the conversion, changes the frequency, remove the noise, and send it back to the receiver. Amplify the signal, send it back to the receiver, and send it back to the earth station. That function has to be done in transponder. And we are using the three frequency bands here. We are using three frequency bands, very, very important frequency band, that is of C band, KU band, and Ka band. C band, KU band, and Ka band. These are the three main frequency bands has to be used. That is C band. The frequency band is 6 by 4. 6 by 4. Instead of 6 and 4, he has written that is 6 by 4. 6 gigahertz for uplink and 4 gigahertz for downlink. 6 gigahertz for uplink, 4 gigahertz for downlink. For KU band, 4 divided by 11. 4 divided by 11. 14 gigahertz for uplink, 11 gigahertz for downlink. And for Ka band, 30 by 12. 30 divided by 12. 30 gigahertz for uplink, 20 gigahertz for downlink. So we are using the several frequency bands. In those frequency bands, the three main frequency bands are C band, KU band, and Ka band. The frequency for C band is 6 divided by 4. 6 for uplink, 6 for uplink, 4 gigahertz for downlink. Ku band 14 divided by 11. 14 gigahertz uplink, 11 gigahertz downlink. Ka band 30 divided by 20. 30 gigahertz for uplink, 20 gigahertz for downlink. These are the three frequency bands we are using. Okay. With respect to this frequency bands, we are going to use a particular bandwidth for each frequency band. What is the bandwidth can be used for C band? 36 megahertz. The bandwidth for C band is 36 megahertz, and the bandwidth for Ku band is 54 megahertz, and bandwidth for Ka band is 72 megahertz. C band bandwidth is 36, Ku band bandwidth is 54, and Ka band bandwidth is 72. So what is the bandwidth of your television? You have to know the basic things. That is, the bandwidth of your television is 5 megahertz. The bandwidth of your television is 5 megahertz. Remember this point. The bandwidth of your standard television is 5 megahertz. And once we launch a particular satellite, what are all the services it is going to provide? That is very, very helpful. Without giving any of the service, why we are going to launch a satellite? You have to need some of the benefit from that satellite. So what are the services? The mobile satellite services. One is, we are using three segments. One is space segment, user segment, and control segment. These are the three segments which are using in the satellite. One is space, one is user, one is control. Space is nothing but we are going to launching a particular satellite at the space. What are all the function has to be taken place at the space? That segment has to be done, that space segment. User, we are the users. We are getting, we are going to receive, we are going to transmit a particular signal to the satellite. We are going to receive a particular signal through the satellite. That is what user segment has to do. We are doing that. We are receiving only the signal, and we are sending the signals. That has to be taken place in user segment. Control segment, we are doing the controlling operation by sitting at the station. Whenever we are launching the satellite, all the control has to be handled by sitting at the station. If something has happened, you have to do the maintenance of that particular satellite. That control segment has to be present in this earth station. You have to maintain the particular operations of almost all the functions has to be assigned, implemented in that particular satellite. You have to adjust the power supply. If there is no sunlight, there are batteries are there. The batteries are going to give particular power to the particular satellite when there is no sunlight. Okay, number of antennas has to be implemented, that is to be fabricated over there. So those antennas are going to provide the particular signal to the earth station. So mobile station services are classified into five types. One is maritime, land, aeronautical, your personal mobile, and broadcast. Where we are using this maritime, this service is provided for military and for our ships. For army purpose, they are using this mobile satellites, maritime. And ships. Ships are located at the sea. We can see where the particular ship is located by sitting at some of the places. It is that much of distances. It has to reach to our India, for it has to take for 4 days, 5 days, 15 days, 3 months or 5 months or 1 year to reach India from one country to other country. That prediction has to be taken place in this services. That is only through the satellite. And second is land mobile satellite service. Land is nothing but we are using for transportations. Nowadays we are using at Pune, Ola, Uber. How they are using? They are using only because of this mobile, that is map. Through this satellite, whenever you book a particular Ola cab, you can see the particular that taxi or a vehicle by using this map. Okay, where it is located, how much time it has to take reach to particular person at this particular place. That has to be taken place in land mobile services. Aeronautical. Aeronautical can be used in aeroplanes, helicopter and aircraft. Aeroplane is nothing but what nowadays number of aeroplanes are using. That has to be, it takes almost all the information has to be reached at the earth station. If something is going on, that information has to be reached at the earth station. So almost all we have to monitor those satellite services. Personal mobile station. Personal mobile station is nothing but what? You are using your mobile. You are using your mobile. For through your mobile, you are seeing the videos. You are listening the lectures. You are watching the movies. You are sending SMSs. You are sending any of the mails. You are sending the SMSs. Everything can be done by using this personal mobile satellite service. And the last service has to be provided is broadcast mobile services. Broadcast is nothing but whatever the live is going on, whatever you are seeing the television, that is only because of your satellite. The satellite is doing almost all the functions. Satellite is doing almost all the functions. So that has to be taken care by this mobile satellite services. So this is what a space division multiple access. Space division multiple access. The one more point is remaining, that is orthogonal frequency division multiple access. That will continue in a next time. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue the next time. And for ISC, how much the unit has been completed, that has to be taken for